So I came up a way of figuring out how far away I am in terms of being a super genius. I just thought of a way to calculate it. To calculate it, I'm calling it universe years. It's like light years. So in in my um, thinking here is that the longer my information doesn't pick up and get to the masses, like it's not um, searched a lot, it means it's not on the psyche. It's not on. It's not on. Because if I'm thinking these kind of genius thoughts, which is normal for me, and they are not, it tells me that they're more primitive than we thought, because these things would be common search, right? If they're searching maybe like girly magazines or things like that, and not giving a second for these kind of searches, it means they're more along the lines of a toddler brain, right? Not to be insulting or anything, but um, they're not to this point in development in humanity. Okay, so I thought of, so how far along am I if let's say I'm done learning, not done understanding became easy for me, so I'm I'm learning now. I'm learning new techniques every day, which makes me a new human every day. Okay, so so I was thinking the longer my information doesn't pick up and get to the masses determines how many universe years away I am from the current civilization. For every universe year, I would be a type 9 civilization that has overcome or overcame limitations of that entire universe. Now we are calculating life. Okay, before we were calculating mass, we were calculating energy, things like that. Those are easy for me. I can understand those. Um, the fact that I can understand them means that I can learn to create new methods, right? So I understand that easily. So now I'm calculating life now. I'm not calculating quantum or these things anymore. So universe years means when new information is brought to my attention, I know how to use it like a tool, right? Like the brain is a tool. I know how to use it, which means I am universe years away from civilization. If I know how to use the brain, the tool, then I am civilizations away or universe years away from civilization right now. Like a tool, and I am not struggling and confused by it, by the brain, or any tool, or any like physics or anything. I'm not confused by it. I don't specialize in it, but it doesn't confuse me. Okay, so the brain doesn't confuse me. I know how to use it. It's a toy, right? They say that by type 9, we'll just be playing with the universe. It would just be a toy for us. Uh, yeah. It's a toy, and I am merely playing with it, playing with the universe. Not trying to understand it, right? Because I understand it. I know how to use it. For a physicist to understand, I don't know if I spelled that right. Think light years or E equals mc squared. Complex in easier terms, right? We all know light years is a really long calculation, But calling it light years is a lot easier, so we can calculate 1 light year, 2 light year, 3 light years. And E equals mc squared, same thing. It's a very long calculation for E, very long calculation for M, right, so on. But very complex, an entire universe as a toy. So, looking at, say this here, to give you an idea. So type 0 would be where civilization is now, and you just go on type 1, type 2 as I think you start changing weather, taking over the galaxy, claiming black holes and lights, and so on and so forth. And I think the calculation is it stopped at type 9, so I'm just using that. Like, you could call it what you will, but it just helps us gauge. So I'm just using type 9 as the last one, and I would be the last because everything is just play for me. Human life is just play for me. Everything is easy, right? I don't struggle with human emotions or any of that. It's all just play for me. I understand it. So universe years. So the longer this takes for this information to catch on, right? If no one really, if it doesn't interest them and they're still into that, really like going to parties and just being a kid and no responsibility for the brain, no challenging the brain, no figuring out how the brain works, right? Then you'll be here. You're not trying to figure anything out, right? You'll be at type 0. The longer, and I'm just counting the days now, okay? If they don't pick it up this day, which means they should be having this on their consciousness. They should be thinking about this, all right? You can have fun, you can party, you can drink. But when you go home, you should have these type of things on your mind, like, what is the brain? What was that I did at the party? Why did I behave that way? You should be thinking this way. And then you would research and you would stumble upon my, I'm doing it as a test for humanity here. You would stumble upon it. Like, what is God? What is life, right? So I have these very, like, how do you create your own math and stuff? I would have these very intelligent explanations. So if they're not searching for that, they're here. And I'll just count the days. And that will determine how far away I am from the current civilization. Okay? If it picks up and everyone starts attempting to, all right, they've never done this before, so it's going to be hard to pick up. I don't know how that works yet, but for right now, I can determine how far away I am, right, by counting the days when I presented these ideas, right? So I put it out into the public, and still it's not picking up, right? I'm not hiding it. I'm not avoiding it. I'm putting it out there, and no one is searching for it, which means I can count the days of type 9, right? It wouldn't be type 1. It would be just type 9, type 9, type 9, type 9, type 9. And I would call those universe years, right? The entire universe is play for me. They're not there, they're not there, they're not there, they're not there. And I guess once they pick up this information, I can calculate how long would it take for them to catch up to me, because it's still just understanding it and learning it. So right now, I'm just, for my better understanding, I can calculate how far away am I as a super genius from civilization. Okay. I don't know if I can do any other examples. What other examples can I do? Other examples. I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.